You know what time it is? It's semifinal time. At Roland Garros, we have the men's semifinals matchups. We got Zverev versus Nadal. We've got Cilic versus Ruud. Very interesting matchups here. Not the ones you would have predicted at the beginning of the tournament probably, but very interesting nonetheless. Can Zverev stop Nadal, or is he getting number 22 and number 14 for sure this weekend? We're going to break down the matchups. We're going to look up how they got here, look at the Holger Rune versus Casper Ruud spice, the salt. So we're going to get into all of it here on The Slice, presented by PointsBet Canada. Let's get into it.
Oh, he's playing galactically.
She's been too good, too often.
Oh, it's out to this world.
How's that for quality on clay?
Okay, people. Last night was fun. Wow, the tennis was fun. Cilic beats Rublev in a 5-set battle in a 5-set tiebreak, and then Casper Ruud beats Holger Rune without some back and forth, super salty handshake, a head shake from Casper Ruud. Anyways, lots of drama to get into in those quarterfinals. Those were epic. Before we get into that, PointsBet Canada, presenting sponsor of The Slice during Roland Garros. If you live in Canada and in Ontario and you want to bet on tennis, join PointsBet. Link below, and they've got some pretty interesting odds here. Looking at the odds for the outright winner for the last 4 guys left on the ATP side, Rafa Nadal, 1.47 times your money. Now the betting favorite. That makes sense. Zverev, 5.00 times your money to win. Casper Ruud, 7 to 1. And Marin Cilic, 13 to 1. So if you are of the camp, which there's a lot of people saying, look, Marin Cilic might just come out here and win the French Open and blow all of our minds because of the way he's playing, you could get 13 times your money. So I'm just saying, just putting that out there. So great matchups, amazing matchups. If you're here for the first time or you haven't yet, subscribe, do it, and like our video. It really helps us out. And to all the people roasting me for predicting that Nadal or that Djokovic would beat Nadal, bring it on. That's what I did. I predicted it. We make predictions. I actually get roasted when I don't make predictions. So what I said in that video was, I believe Djokovic is going to win if he does these things. I also said Nadal could easily win if Djokovic doesn't do those things and Nadal does these things. And it ended up being Nadal doing the other things. So I didn't say Nadal has no chance, Djokovic is going to wipe him off the court, but I just gave a preview. So I always love to go back and forth with you guys, and the hundreds of comments rubbing in my face is hilarious. And I take a laugh out of it for sure. So great matchups. How did we get here in the semifinals? Nadal beats Djokovic. We all know how that happened. Watch my reaction to it up here. Zverev beats Alcaraz. It surprised us, but it really probably shouldn't have. I also, in the same video, I have the reaction. But yesterday, Cilic beats Rublev in a 5-set battle. Cilic playing so brave, hitting the ball so clean and big, just looking like the guy who made it to the finals of the Australian Open 2018 and Wimbledon 2017. Just crazy. So he's playing great. Love to see that from Marin Cilic. In the match yesterday, 88 winners. Insane. 33 aces. Also insane. I mean, Rublev's not the biggest guy, but that's a lot of aces on clay. I guess they played like 5 sets, so that makes more sense, but still pretty impressive and scary if you're his next opponent. Heartbreaking for Rublev at the same time. Obviously, Rublev has never made a semifinal of a major. I mean, he's still pretty young, but he's made, like, I think 4 or 5 quarterfinals now, and he was right there, right? It was a 5-set tiebreak, and Cilic just went out of the absolute top drawer in the tiebreak, kind of just blitzed Rublev, and then it was over. Even though it was a 10-point super tiebreak to finish, super disappointing for Rublev. I think he was pretty hurt about this, and he doesn't get to play Wimbledon, so it's just super unfair and sad for him as a Russian playing right now on the tour. So, yeah, Cilic comes through that, very impressive, and he's going to play Casper Ruud, who beat Holger Rune in a salty matchup. I didn't think there would be, but kind of initiated by Rune, but there's definitely 2 sides to this story. A lot of people were thinking Rune was acting like a brat, but he's like, dude, he's 19 years old, playing in front of 15,000 people, tons of pressure. Yeah, he's an emotional guy. I guess those are the same people that would say like Djokovic is a brat, I guess, because he's an emotional guy. Basically, the drama from the match, let's just get that out of the way. Ruud wanted to check a lot of points or check a lot of marks. I could, some of them you could tell from how they landed, they were like a little bit out for sure. And Ruud wanted the umpire to come down a bunch of times to check. And then apparently, I saw this go down. Casper Ruud, super nice guy, that's the reputation he has, is walking by and he says, "Do you really have to check every mark?" And Holger Rune just goes, "Don't talk to me." And then Casper Ruud goes, "That's not a way to talk to somebody." And then Holger Rune goes, "Don't talk to me." Just like gives him the Iceman. And then anyways, after the victory, I was going to show the clip of the salty handshake. You can find it on Twitter, on our Twitter. But literally our Instagram just got disabled for 3 days because we posted it. It's like literally a 3-second clip. So thanks, French Tennis Federation, really helping grow the sport of tennis. But yeah, it was like a no-look handshake, a little bit of a look, and then Casper Ruud just like shakes his head at Holger as they walk off. And yeah, there was a bunch of hearsay of stuff that happened afterwards, talking in the locker room, but I don't know what to believe of that. A lot of emotions, a lot of intensity going on. But Casper Ruud threw. I've been so impressed with him ever since I saw him live in Geneva win the tournament. He moves like a cat. People call him Casper the Ghost. I'm calling him Casper the Cat. He moves. Listen the next time he plays in the Cilic match. Listen for his footsteps. You really can't hear them a lot of the time because he's so light on his feet. And he's just the type of guy who I feel has optimized his game. His serve is now big enough to really hurt people, and he gets free points off it a lot. And his forehand is huge now, and it can really hurt. Whereas he used to be kind of just more of like a pusher. He's definitely a guy who can end points on his own, and he does that. Moving to his right, so moving out to the forehand, he is so good at that. If a guy goes up the line, Casper moves to it so well because he moves well, and then he can get so in front of that ball and hit hard angled cross-court forehands. It's just such a thing of beauty. Anyways, I'm very impressed by Ruud, but I'm also impressed by Cilic. So we'll break down that matchup. Let's break down Zverev versus Nadal first. Zverev versus Nadal. As it stands right now, the odds to win this match are 1.31 for Nadal and 3.55 for Zverev. So not crazy bad for Zverev. And this is a winnable match for Zverev. Let's just set the table like that. He can beat Nadal. He's done it before three times in a row at one point. Interestingly, the last two times they played have both been on clay, and they split it. Zverev beating Nadal in 2021 Madrid in the quarterfinals, and Nadal beating Zverev in the 2021 Rome in the quarterfinals as well, I believe. So that's the difference. Madrid, Zverev won on faster, higher elevation clay courts, and Rome, Nadal won slower, lower elevation clay courts, and I think it's more similar to Paris and Rome. They're slower typically. So the matchup gets really interesting now because of how Zverev played in beating Alcaraz. He played mentally strong. He really did well in the first two sets to like hit big, hit consistent, and not miss a ton, and put a lot of pressure on him, on Alcaraz, that is. And he also served great. Nadal also played top drawer against Djokovic. So I feel if Nadal plays the top drawer, super attacking, forehand dominant, able to do whatever he wants, game style, it's obviously going to be maybe impossible for Zverev. But that's the question mark we have with Nadal right now is against Felix, he didn't play his best, and Felix really pushed him, and that match could have gone either way. So against Djokovic then, Nadal raised his level big time, played great throughout the entire match. So which Nadal is going to show up? That's a question we don't normally have to ask, but at this stage of his career, the physical part of it plays such a big role. And then what Zverev is going to show up? Is it going to be huge serving, maybe biggest server on tour basically, with a guy who can follow it up, cracking backhand? Is he going to be able to counter Nadal and make this super physical more than Djokovic was able to? We don't know. But it's going to depend a lot on how I think Zverev plays mentally and handles the moment. If Zverev, he just had his first top 10 win at a slam, which is against a 19-year-old. He's proven that he can beat Nadal. He's proven that he can win long matches at slams, but Zverev has not proven that he can beat top guys in long matches. So is this going to be the moment where Zverev steps up and makes history and really proves to the people he wants to prove to that he is one of the top guys, that he can be number one in the world? Because this is an opportunity to do it, for sure, to make a massive statement. And I believe he can do it. I believe my prediction is Nadal on 4. The conditions will be super interesting. I think it's supposed to be pretty warm, humid, with some rain tomorrow in Paris, so the roof might be closed. And normally they say that hurts Nadal because like against Djokovic, it gets slower. Nadal's ball doesn't have as much action. I don't know if Zverev is taller than Djokovic, and he stands farther back than Djokovic, so I don't know if the action would really hurt Zverev as much anyway. So maybe the slower conditions will actually help Nadal and hurt Zverev, because Zverev won't have as much pop on his serve or on his backhand or things like that. So it's going to be super interesting to see how it plays out. I can't wait for the match tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Ruud versus Cilic. Cilic playing from inside or near the baseline, dictating, gives me bad feelings for Ruud. There's been times, even in Geneva and against Holger last night, where Ruud kind of went away once the other guy got to play bigger, aggressive tennis and was playing with quality. Ruud kind of got a bit passive, and if he gets passive, he seems to not have as much damage when the other guy's playing well, obviously. So if Cilic is missing a ton, then Ruud can kind of sit there and be the backboard. But I think Ruud is going to want to fastball Cilic, not let Cilic dictate, because of the 88 winners last night against Rublev. And Ruud has to do that, I think, to play well and to really, impose his game. Because I don't think, although Ruud can defend and be suffocating like that, Cilic's offense is just too big right now and too good, and I don't think Ruud's defense can match it. So my prediction is actually Cilic in 4. I'm a believer now in what he's doing, and I think he's going to be aggressive. And I just think if he is aggressive like he was against Rublev, he can win this in 4. It's super close, though, because Ruud's also maybe better than Rublev on clay, maybe misses less, or definitely misses less, so that might make Cilic miss more and not have 88 winners. Maybe he had 88 winners, like 70-something on first errors. He might have a lot more than that if they go 5 sets, so we'll see. I'm leaning Cilic, though, but very, very big toss-up. It'll be an amazing opportunity for either guy who makes the final, and then it's a massive opportunity for Zverev. Nadal is just he's cruising now. I like what he said after the match against Djokovic. He said, this could be my last tournament here. He doesn't know. And he really tries to put off that persona of not caring about the final Grand Slams. He's obviously going for 22, but he has, to me, a very holistic approach of I want to do best here. My best here. This is a very special tournament for me. Won it 13 times. He's going for number 14, now 22nd Grand Slam. And he says he doesn't really care about who has the most. He's just playing for him and for his family and for winning and proving it to himself that he can do it once again, which is crazy. He could win the first 2 slams of 2022 when, in 2013 we thought he'd be slowing down and being done. So, man never stops to amaze us. Will Zverev be able to stop him? Will Ruud be able to stop him? Or Cilic if they make the final? Who knows? We got to play the tennis. That's why we do it. So thanks for being here, people. Subscribe and follow along down below on the links. Follow me on Twitter at @TheSliceTennis. I am doing daily tweets during the match, and we can go back and forth on there. And yeah, check all the links out below and join PointsBet if you're a tennis bettor in Ontario, Canada. Thanks for being here. We'll see you after the semifinals.
He's playing collectively.
She's been too good, too often.
Oh, it's out to this world.
How's that for quality on clay?